and welcome back to the Scenic Route Astrology. My name is Makayla, and today we're talking about the Leo full moon on February 16th, 2022. I love this full moon. There's so much energy behind it. Of course, it's Leo. Leo's going to come out making us feel super warm, super energetic, really charming, loving, all these type of healthy, good, warm vibes. I love the fire signs. So I'm just excited to dive into this chart because I think that it's just a nice, easy flow with this full moon. Of course, there's like different types of aspects that I'll bring up for you to focus on within your chart, but really this is about connecting to the heart chakra and the heart center and going your own way and following your own path. This is definitely in alignment with the new moon in Aquarius that we just had. And we're still obviously in Aquarius season with the sun in Aquarius. So I think this is about shining and showing up as who you are and being able to express yourself in a definitely passionate type of energy. And I also think that there's a lot of room for new relationships to come in if you're single, if you're taken, new beginnings, new starts, new resets in your relationships that are full of passion and healthy joy and abundance, and that will really carry you for the long haul. Okay, there's so many important aspects happening right now in this time, especially because we have no planets retrograde. Mercury and Venus are still not clear out of their retrograde shadows, but everything is moving direct still. And I'm recording this on February 14th, so this is Valentine's Day. So I'm wishing everybody lots of love today. But, you know, in a couple of days on this full moon, we're going to have this Mars-Venus conjunction. And Mars and Venus are kind of playing tag right now for the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this energy is showing up for us in our charts. There is also this full moon is so potent because it is squaring the nodes that have just shifted, I believe on January 18th into Taurus and Scorpio. So the nodal shift in Taurus and Scorpio is happening for everybody, no matter what nodal placement you have natally in your chart. This is still a backdrop of energy that you're going to be dealing with for the next 18 months. And I also want to highlight that if you have any planets in the fixed signs, if you have Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio, then this full moon is going to be impacting you a lot more, especially if it's around 27 degrees of any of the fixed signs. In those signs, it's going to impact you because the eclipses are going to be happening in Taurus and Scorpio, and it's going to be either squaring your Aquarius and Leo planets or forming an opposition or a conjunction to those planets or those angles that are in your chart. So this kind of reminds me of a big emotional release to take you into the next 18 months of your life and the next massive changes that are going to be happening. You know, the North Node and the South Node in fixed signs, this is important because these are signs that don't like to change that often. And they really usually need a budge or a push or a Uranus transit to come through. You know, something really needs to make the fixed signs want to change and want to move. So the energy now for the next 18 months, while we have this nodal energy there, it's really asking all of us to make changes, right? So, and we all have these signs that show up somewhere in our chart. It's more prominent for others, of course, with personal planets, the angles or the luminaries, like I said. But this full moon, I think, is really going to be asking us to have this really big, healthy release so that we can invite so much abundance that is coming into our lives. I feel really excited. I know in my previous videos, I have talked a lot about the nodes. I've done a lot of talking about just how the Scorpio and Taurus archetypes are showing up. You know, and Scorpio can be difficult, of course, right? It rules the 8th house, it rules Pluto and Mars. It's about our deepest woundings and our deepest attachments and about letting go of those things, which can be quite difficult. However, we can always gain something when we incorporate the polarity point, okay, Taurus. That's really the antidote to dealing with South Node and Scorpio. You know, all of us somewhere in our Scorpio placements in our chart are going to have to be letting go of some deep emotionally rooted attachments, whether that is work stuff or relationship stuff or deep psychological stuff, maybe past life trauma, maybe current life trauma. There's some reworking and unearthing that's going to be happening for all of us on the collective scale and individually. But there's so much to gain with the Taurus archetype. You know, Taurus is the second house. It's our assets, it's our finances. It's ruled by Venus, it's relationships. It can be love, self-worth, self-sustainability, right? There's so many positive aspects to deal with Taurus and where it is landing in your chart. To reach into that North Node is going to be really healing and really grounding for a lot of us. So I'm just going to pull the chart up. I'm definitely a visual person. So for those of you who are visual learners, you know, you get to see where these planets are falling and what degrees they're falling in. So hopefully you can follow along and you can see if these are hitting any of your planets as well. Okay, so yeah, a full moon is always when the moon is opposite of the sun, and it's definitely always about releasing something, letting go, something also coming into the full light. You can see it for the bigger picture that it is. Also, the lunar phases are in 4-week cycles, 6-month cycles, and 2.5-year cycles. So this new moon actually that started this whole cycle began in August of 2020. So what was going on for you at that time? You might be seeing a culmination at this point. And I was talking with a friend, and that's actually when I started getting heavily into my astrological studies. So here I am making a full moon video now on a YouTube channel that's all about astrology when you know, halfway through that cycle, I had begun at Astrology University. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. So yeah, you'll want to see where, you know, the 27 degrees of Aquarius is and Leo is in your chart. The full moon in Leo, that's where something might be coming into light for you. Like you might be getting a full picture, okay? It also might be where you need to release something to invite some new energy in. And like I was saying about the nodes, this is why it's so important, it is squaring the North Node in Taurus, and Ceres is actually over there as well, just in out of sign conjunction. And it's also squaring the South Node in Scorpio. So South Node in Scorpio, where are you holding on to an attachment or an emotional wound that could be released? Okay, something to be let go of. You know, this doesn't have to be even anything huge. Like I said, again, for some people, this energy is going to be more impactful for others. But if the more aware you are of these transitions and these dynamics showing up for you, then you can navigate with the energy and you can work with it instead of life happening for you. Okay, sometimes we know we need to let go of something like a job, right? We know we need to do it, but it's not until like the universe starts to present us with situations where it's like, okay, like if you're not going to make the change, I'm going to help you make the change for you. Okay, so, and Scorpio doesn't mess around, right? The ruler of Scorpio is Pluto. Okay, modern astrology. I use modern because I study evolutionary. So Pluto in Capricorn is still trying to take down some old structures that we've been carrying around or have been passed down for generations far too long. All right. It's still breaking down those structures for us. All right. So really be thinking about over the next couple of days up until this full moon, what do you feel like you could release? You know, and this could even be something around like your self-worth or your relationships or how you show up in relationships or you know, and why I'm going to talk about why I'm highlighting relationship dynamics in a minute, but something that, you know, isn't allowing you to fully let go and release and forgive, for instance. You know, I think with the fixity of Scorpio, sometimes like we need to learn how to forgive an emotion or, you know, a wrongdoing or something that happened to us and start to take responsibility for why something happened to us. Right. And then actually let go of that fear or that loss or that betrayal, let it go. right? So that we can release that emotion, we can expel it out of our body, out of our energy field, or out of our aura, right? Energy is never destroyed, it just keeps moving, but we can transform or transmute that energy into something positive to nurture and grow something. And why I'm saying nurturing and grow, well, the North Node happens to be conjunct Ceres, where we can, the asteroid that can represent us nurturing and growing into something new, you know, getting a different perspective around our self-worth, maybe starting a new project that's going to build us an income where we can feel like our self-worth is you know, better, or a new way of sustaining our life, a new way of feeling a sense of security within our own lives. Okay, because also Taurus wants to have stability and security, you know, for the long haul, right? It can be kind of stubborn in that way too. So you can bet, if you're nurturing something, if you're going towards that North Node in your chart and you're working hard to incorporate that kind of energy in, it's probably going to be something that's going to stick around for a while, right? And it's going to serve you this self-assurance kind of purpose for the long haul, which would be a really positive way to utilize this full moon. You know, this full moon is also in conjunct Mercury over here in Aquarius. Let me get rid of these. It's also in conjunct Mercury in Aquarius, and also in conjunct Pluto. Okay, so it's applying to Mercury. So if you're releasing something, Mercury is really smart in Aquarius. It's exalted. It's very intellectual. It's got a higher vision. It's independent thinking. It's innovative. It can be freedom loving. It can be rebellious kind of thinking, you know. And with this full moon in Leo, right? Let yourself shine. Let yourself become the leader. Let yourself be in like your regalness of some essence. You know, we all have a Leo undertone. Okay, because Leo is the ruler of the sun. So it acts as a binary to our sun sign. No matter what placement your sun is in, you still have this like Leo undertone, and you still have Leo somewhere in your chart that can get activated with certain transits or certain personal planets in that area, right? So now's your time to shine. Now's your time to be the fun-loving type of creative inner being that you are, right? And it's applying to Mercury and Aquarius. So it's like thinking about, how can I do this? How can I be motivated to be more independent of myself? You know, what qualities of myself are really, really genius and really clever and that I can own? Okay, so I really love that in conjunction. And I know that an in conjunction is a blind spot. We don't always see it. That's why I'm pointing it out. And that's why we have astrology, because if we're walking around unconscious, like we wouldn't notice this stuff, right? We wouldn't know how to work with this. My moon placement, my moon and Jupiter in my chart makes an in conjunction to my North Node and Mars and Venus. But because I know astrology and I know that it's there, I can consciously work with it, right? It's just about pointing it out and then making an adjustment, right? Any kind of aspect in the chart can be worked through, and it's a dynamic that can be integrated with consciousness and awareness. We can own who we were meant to be. We can really show up and shine and do the work that we want to do in this life, manifest anything that we want. All right. Honestly, the only negative aspect that I see about this full moon chart, personally for me, from my approach, is that there does form that in conjunction to Pluto as well, that is separating them. Okay, so the only way that I see this turning out negative is that if somebody is acting in the negative Leo quality, right? If they're being a little bit narcissistic, if they're being a little bit too strong-willed, where they're rubbing people the wrong way, or a little bit too arrogant, right? Those are like these deep unconscious types of dynamics, which is Pluto, right? Pluto rules the unconscious, that can show up, the shadow side of Leo that can show up, where that in conjunction, again, you might not realize that you're being that way to other people, right? So it's just something to be mindful about. It's really the only thing that I see is like a negative in this chart. But, you know, it is a separating aspect. So Pluto's like, hey, let it go. You know, Leo's are, you know, wherever you got Leo in the chart, or even Aries can be a little bit narcissistic sometimes, right? So it's just asking you to let go of that shadow stuff, to bring it up to the surface and to release it. Again, right? Full moon, bring it out, shine a light on it, and then let it go, right? So anyway, this full moon is also forming a trine to Eris, and I love that. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Eris. I like the asteroid. I think this is really saying, because it's a positive aspect, like, show up and go your own way, like Eris did in her mythology, which I talk about her mythology in some of my other forecasts, some of my other lunar forecasts. So, but basically Eris, you know, isn't afraid to tell people what she thinks or how she sees them. You know, she's called the goddess of discord and strife for a reason, but she speaks her truth. And sometimes we need people to do that, right? We always need people to speak their truth. We always need people to be who they were supposed to be. So the song, like, it has come into my head, like, you can go your own way. Don't make fun of me. I like to sing, but I'm not that great of a singer. But to me, this trine to Eris is just initiating that. It's like, it's just supporting you to continue to do that as you navigate through these nodes right here. At the same time, we've got the Mars Venus conjunction in Capricorn, and I just love this. I'm so excited that Mars and Venus are playing tag right now, and that the, you know, masculine and feminine energies are coming together. We all have masculine and feminine within us, so I'm not siding like Venus is female and Mars is male. I don't feel that way at all. And I just think that this is a way for people to really acknowledge that they have the both of those within themselves, and that, you know, we can have our drive and our will and our assertion also meet our receptive needs to just receive and just to invite love in and to have beauty in our life. You know, and I think that this is a really passionate, sexy, sexual type of energy that's happening like literally today, also on Valentine's Day, up until the full moon and the day after, and then also as they play tag along over the next couple of weeks, you know. So because it's in Capricorn too, I'm considering this is like a very ambitious sexual type of passion and energy and drive. Okay, so if you're looking for relationships, or you're trying to cultivate relationships in your life that you want some passion and lust and desire in, really utilize this energy right here. Okay, all the planets are direct. It's saying go for it. It's saying take it on, like grab it. If you want it, grab it, go for it. You know, obviously the other person equally wants it, right? But you know, this can also be about money and success and like willpower and your drive, because Capricorn does, you know, resemble all of these things with like persistence and practicality, and it also will really want things for the long haul and the longevity of things, right? So again, if you're, you know, initiating a new relationship or a new business project, some type of new structure going on in your life, I do see this as being like a really awesome platform and catalyst for it to go for the long haul. It's very sexy type of energy. And I think, you know, we can even think of this type of sexy energy in business, right? Like that idea is so hot. It is going to be so powerful. It's going to be so successful, right? I'm really excited to be persistent and disciplined with this project and go for it for the long haul. All right. There's lots of drive and passion behind this energy. And I really wanted to point it out because to me, it was getting me really excited, you know. And at the same time, it's also forming this trine to Uranus over here at 11 degrees in Taurus. So Uranus is, as we know, is accelerating things in the Taurus area of our life, right? It's pushing, it's having breakthroughs, it's having a reform, it's not conforming, it's creating a change, right? So with this trine aspect, this Mars-Venus conjunction, where you're coming together with your values and your drive, right? And they're forming a new relationship, a new beginning, and a new start. It's having a lovely aspect for change, right? It's breaking free from the old, from something that doesn't work anymore. And it's like, hey, let's go, let's accelerate, let's take off running with this, right? It might take a little bit of time to take off because it is Capricorn, and Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn's still in a fixed sign of Aquarius. It might take some time for things to get rolling and to get moving, but as long as you start, as long as you begin something now, I do see this being good for the long haul, okay? It just depends, where is Capricorn showing up in your chart, you know? So it all depends on what's happening personally for you. Also, to back up that acceleration, right, just to layer that in, is Jupiter is forming this lovely sextile to Uranus as well. So Jupiter in Pisces is like, what is the bigger dream? What is the bigger vision that I have, right? It's expansive, it's positive energy, it's giving us a blessing, and it's forming that sextile to Uranus. So it's helping push forward that acceleration again, right? Really positive. I feel it as this really buoyant, big energy, even though we have a lot of practicality in the chart, right? We have a lot of, like, Aquarius can be kind of like strategic in its way and objective and detached, for sure, right? We have that, but then we have like the grounded energy of Capricorn, right? And the grounded energy of Taurus. However, that all helps really bring out the balance, because the full moon is so powerful and so energized in Leo. You know, fire and air brings us up here. It brings us inspiration. It brings us ideas. It brings us power. It just excites us, right? It sets out a fire. It's just blasting out. Sometimes we need a little bit of grounding, right? So the way I've been thinking about this full moon also is that it's freaking beautiful for aligning all of the chakras. And I'm actually just going to talk more about this because that's basically all the aspects that I wanted to point out in the chart. But yeah, so because we have this nice balance between earth and fire and air, I feel like this is a good day to align your chakras. And if you really want to open up that heart center, you need to make sure that your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus are activated and running smoothly first, okay? Root chakra, do you feel safe and secure in your needs, okay? Sacral, do you feel like you have money and abundance and creativity and relationships that make you feel that safety and security? How do you feel about those relationships, right? If your sacral chakra is blocked right now, it's a root chakra problem. It always starts from the root. And then you can move up. You go to the solar plexus. Can I say yes and no to the things that I want? Can I make my own decisions? Do the decisions that I make for myself lead me into self-love? Okay. And once those three are aligned, then you're confident enough, you feel secure enough, you know that you can make your own decisions, you know that you're protected because of you, not because anybody else deserves you protection, but because you do. Then you can open up your heart space, right? Then you can be that true, loving, playful, leadership-oriented type of heart space that is so abundant in creativity and warmth, right? So it's really important that you're grounded, and all that Capricorn planets right now is actually helping you get grounded, and the Taurus planets helping you get grounded on your drive, on your desires, on your self-worth, on your values, right? So this is a big energy. And then of course it's going to be shooting off, right? It's going to be square. The full moon is going to be highlighting all of this heart chakra stuff for you. It's almost like this full moon is highlighting if your first three chakras are aligned or not. Then you get to shoot that off into which node, in which direction you want to go in. And there's no right or wrong, because you need to incorporate both anyway. You're going to need to let go of something to gain something, right? And you can gain something if you let go of something. It's just a matter of where you're at with this energy. Where is this consciousness happening for you? Also permission, not like anybody needs permission, but just kick back and relax also, right? Don't be so hard on yourself too, where I'm like, oh, okay, she's saying like I have to go off, I have to drive, I have to take charge. Full moons are also about relaxing, especially in Leo. It's about getting your head scratched. It's about pampering yourself. It's about having an orgasm. It's about taking, just time to relax and just feel like you're very special, because you are. No matter who you are, no matter what sign you have, you deserve love and affection like Leo really, really wants to receive. So you can be in this releasing moment and also this receiving moment, because you're releasing something that you're able to receive more love in. Okay, so everybody, I hope that this video helped. I very much appreciate you if you give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Liking this video helps more people find my channel. If you want to book an astrology reading with me, you can find me at thescenicrouteastrology.com. You can also book it right off of my Instagram. I would love if you join my Instagram tribe at the Scenic Route Astrology. Like always, I'm wishing you so much love. You have unlimited potential, my cosmic warriors. Have a great day. Thank you.